Okay, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Deadline stream for Game Week 14. Hope we're all doing well. A midweek deadline is upon us. 6 p.m. is the deadline. How are we all doing though, guys? Welcome on into the stream. Mohammed, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. What do you mean, no Jackson? Yeah, I titled the stream wrong at the start. It should have been avoiding Jackson. Jackson's fine, obviously. I mean, he might not start. You never know. But João Pedro was not good. João Pedro was not good. No, not great. Did you captain him, Sam? I can't remember if you captained him or not. I know a few people in the stream on the weekend did captain him, so it was a rough one. John Darren, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Seen you somewhere before. Chris, how you doing, man? Oh, you did captain him. Oof. How well did you do that game week then if you captained João Pedro? Armand, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Nabil with the 3 months. Hello, Matt, again. Good luck on the picks. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated for the 3 months of membership. I still need to get those emotes, man. I still need to get emotes done and icons and stuff done for members on this channel. Still got to do it. Still got to do it. Thank you for the 3 months, though, man. Really, really appreciate it, Nabil. Absolute legend. Thank you so much. Hi, mate. Who would you sell Konate to out of Porro, Cucurella, Colwill, or Gomez? I prefer Gomez, but just looking for some insight. Gomez, or Liverpool's Gomez, or trying to think of the Gomez's there are. I'm assuming Liverpool Gomez. I'd probably prefer Porro, to be fair. It's a little bit more attacking. It's just a bit more expensive. If you're going to go for a Chelsea defender, it's probably better to go Colwill because Cucurella has been rotated in the past. But even Gomez could get rotated as well. Like, Kwanzaa could easily start centre-back. Especially with the fixture congestion we've got coming up. I made a -4 to get Jackson for Isak and Wood to Pedro. Jackson for Isak. Wait, you're going to get rid of Isak and you're going to get rid of Wood to Pedro. I don't mind it, but Isak said he was going to be fit, and then Eddie Howe said he wasn't going to be. So it's a bit of a weird one. I don't think I'd do it for a -4. Nabil coming through with the 10 gifted memberships. Bro. Insane generosity. Gifted memberships to Boo, Luke, Dusty, Alex, Connor, Thomas, Ashley, Knowledge for Humanity, Parser, and FPL Josh as well. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted, Nabil. Thank you so much. I don't know how many emotes we can have on this channel, but I definitely need to design some. Thank you so much, man. Insane generosity from Nabil. If you have been gifted a membership, please give Nabil a massive thank you in the chat. Thank you so much, man. How's it, man? Hope you're going well. How you doing, KN? Good to see you. Isak is injured. Well, that's what Hal said, but Isak himself said he wasn't injured, so that's why it's a little bit confusing. I don't own him though, so he's not really an issue for me. But it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things. If you can have Jackson instead of Strand Larson this game week and Bruno instead of Mbumo next game week, would you do it? Yeah, I quite like that, to be fair. I mean, I can bring Jackson in this week, but I don't know. I spoke about it in the team selection video a little bit. If I roll this week, then next week I can bring in, for 8 Nori, I can bring in Trent. And then for Mbumo, I can bring in Bruno Fernandes as well. And I kind of want to do it. I much prefer Trent and Bruno over Jackson and whoever. So I'd really like that midfield, so I think I'm going to do that next week. I'm not completely set on it. It's just I have to avoid Jackson this week. And the issue with that is that he's away at Southampton, who are missing like 5 of their starting players. Flecken or Fabianski? Flecken or Fabianski this week? Probably Fabianski, to be fair. Well, they got Leicester away. Although they are under Van Nistelrooy, so they could have that new manager bounce. I was thinking of getting Colwill in, but I don't really want to have 3 Chelsea players. What do you think? I mean, there's nothing wrong with 3 Chelsea players. If you look at the fixture run that they've literally got, after Southampton away, they've got Spurs away, and then they've got Brentford, Everton, Fulham, Ipswich, Palace, Bournemouth, and Wolves. The fixture run for Chelsea is ridiculous. You don't have to worry. If you bring in 3 Chelsea players, you don't have to worry about them, as long as they're not rotation risks for like the next 6 or 7 game weeks. Digne or Colwill? I prefer Colwill. Digne got benched recently, didn't he? Rachard, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Start a Nana or Fabianski. Probably go Fabianski. Arsenal will score. At home to United, they'll score. And Ahmad or Rodgers. I wouldn't be surprised with a Rodgers benching this week, to be fair. I really wouldn't. My transfer plans, I'm probably going to roll. I really want to bring Jackson in, but I think I'm just going to roll so I can have Fernandez and Trent next week. Who's a better start, Semenyo or Rodgers? I'd probably go Semenyo, to be fair, because he's obviously had that rest because of that suspension. And Spurs have been relatively leaky this season as well. Aina, Mazraoui, and Collins start 2 of 3. Honestly, I mean, I'd probably start Aina, to be fair. Potentially just... Didn't Mazraoui come off on like the 50-odd minute? I'd probably just do Collins and Aina, but they're not a great 3 defenders to have this week. Bench Johnson, Wisser, or Rodgers? Probably. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers gets benched this week. Down to 1064 from 1062. I was doing so good too. Which defenders would you play? Greaves, Gabriel, Hall, Milenkovic, and Lewis. Well, is Greaves fit to play? I don't know if Greaves is, because he missed the last game week, didn't he? Is he fit to play? I want to bring in Bruno for Mbumo in the future game weeks, and then I'd have to go Joe Gomez or Colwill over Porro. Maybe just go Colwill for the Southampton player. Issue is I have to play him versus Spurs. I mean, I don't even think Spurs away is a terrible fixture for Chelsea. It's not great from a centre-back's point of view, but he's getting into positions. Like, I don't know if you saw the game against Villa, but he's getting into positions that centre-backs shouldn't be. You know, and I think that he's got a goal in him. He's got a goal in him. I did Canati to Gomez and Bruno to Bowen for 2 free transfers. Kind of aggressive, but don't see Bruno doing much compared to Bowen in the next 4 at least. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal and City both away in the next 3 isn't ideal. Like, the Forest fixture's quite nice at home, but apart from that, yeah, this. I mean, to be fair, though, that City game could honestly go either way with how bad City have been lately. What about Saka captain this week? No, I can't go against Palmer this week. I should have gone Saka last week, but luckily there was only a 4-point difference between Saka and Palmer, but... Yeah, I said the whole stream that I should have gone Saka, but... Start 3, Gabriel, Aït-Nouri, Mazraoui, Greaves, Malenko. Gabriel, definitely. Aït-Nouri, definitely. Probably Nikolenko, if you don't have any Wolves strikers. Would you prioritize selling Isak, Wood, or Mbumo? They're all on penalties, aren't they? It depends, like... I think... I mean, if you can bring in Jackson for Isak or Wood, I'd probably do that. What do you think about Sanchez or Raya? Probably play Sanchez this week. Southampton away. Why Mbumo over Rodgers? Just on pens. I don't really like either of them as picks this week, to be fair. I could see Rodgers getting benched. But yeah, Mbumo just for penalties. You know, he could literally... I know he's been terrible lately. He really has, but he's a 90-minute player. He's on penalties. He could easily get a lucky penalty. You never know. Bowen's already here. He's streaming. What do you mean? Should I do Mazraoui to Colwill? Don't mind it. Obviously, they've got Forest at home next week. It's just that early sub that's annoying. Scuba Steve with the 70 Czar. Flecken or Fabianski? My only decision this week. Your thoughts? Flecken or Fabianski? I'd probably prefer Fabianski, but Leicester, they are playing a Leicester side that's got that new manager bounce. But I mean, Villa surely score against Brentford, don't they? I can see Villa scoring a couple against Brentford. Like, Brentford just don't keep clean sheets. They've, had 1 all season? I mean, West Ham don't exactly keep clean sheets either, but I'd probably go Fabianski over Flecken this week, to be fair. Flecken will make save points, though. It's just, if you think Fabianski is... If they're both going to concede, I'd probably play Flecken because he's going to get more save points. But if you think that West Ham are going to keep a clean sheet, then obviously you play Fabianski. But Villa do need to sort it out, though, because obviously they've not been very great lately at all. Thank you so much for the 70 Czar, though, man. Absolute legend. Really appreciate it. Kind of regret selling Bruno, but we'll see. Well, that's what I mean. I'm thinking of buying Bruno next week. I think the Arsenal and the City game aren't ideal, but apart from that, after the City game, they've got a really good fixture on coming up. Bench 1 and Mbumo versus Vissa versus Rodgers. I mean, I'd definitely play Mbumo because he's on penalties. Not that he's not been great, but probably start. I mean, Martinez might still be out for Villa as well, which is obviously better for Brentford attackers. So I'd probably go Mbumo and Wissa. You know you're going to get pretty much 90 out of both of them, aren't you? Whereas Rodgers could easily get an early sub. He might even be benched. Haaland or Salah cap? Probably go Salah, just because Man City's in a rut at the moment. But, I mean, Forest, you've got to think, like, last season, Forest at home would have been ridiculous for City. Like, everybody... I think he got a hat-trick against us at home last season. This season's completely different. City have dropped off considerably. And Forest are one of the best defenses in the league. So I don't think... I think they'll beat us, but I don't think they'll... I think it'll be like 1-0. I don't think they're going to score many. What about captaining in Jackson? Yeah, could be a shout. I mean, I'd prefer Palmer because he's on penalties, but yes, Jackson could easily... I mean, Chelsea could easily smash in 4 against them this week. Remember, they're missing 4 to 5 of their starting players through injuries and suspensions, so... My team is Verbruggen, Aït-Nouri, Trent, Gabriel, Semenyo, Salah, Saka, Palmer, Jackson, Kuna, João Pedro, benches, Fabianski, Rogers, Konza, and Robertson. What do you think of my teammate? Thanks. I think it's solid, to be fair, man. Trent, Gabriel, Aït-Nouri, perfect. Semenyo, Salah, Saka, Palmer, Jackson. Yeah, dude. That's basically like the team that everybody wants right now. Any news on Isak? Would you bench him over Rogers? I think I'd start him just because he's on penalties and stuff. And he said in an interview midweek he was fine. So it's like, well, what? Like Eddie Howe said he was not been in training all week, but then Isak himself in an interview said he was fine. So Eddie Howe's been known to do those mind games, so I'd probably say that he's fine. I'd probably go with him and just start him. But Monkey Man, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hi, so I got Jackson for Welbeck. Good move, short term and long term. Yeah, I mean Jackson's perfect for the next. As I say, apart from that Spurs away fixture in game week 15. Like, they've got a sea of green fixtures. They've got a ridiculous run coming up. Should I play Sells or Fabianski in goal? I mean, Fabianski's more likely to keep a clean sheet. But I think Sells can make a few save points this week. It's the thing, like, West Ham have just conceded 4, obviously. No, 5. But it's against the Leicester that have struggled to score goals. But under Van Nistelrooy, like how that new manager bounces. Like if they were still under Stevie Cooper, you'd play Fabianski every day of the week. But should I keep Raul this week to transfer him to Jackson? Yeah, Raul Jimenez to Jackson is a solid choice. You got to think it's a Tuesday fixture. Like he could easily get rotated as well. You know, it's not a massive turnaround. Like Muniz could easily start over Jimenez this week. Whereas, I mean, Jackson, he came off on the 70th minute, so he should start, really. Obviously, Nkunku can play there and other players as well, but I think I'd bet on Jackson starting for sure. But I like Raul Jimenez to Jackson this week. Who should I start, Raya or Dean Henderson? Probably just go Raya. I think Man United probably will score, but I think Raya will make quite a few save points. But then again, Henderson has Ipswich away. I'd probably still go Raya. I think Ipswich score against Palace at home. I have Salah, Saka, Palmer. Do I do Mbumo to Fernandes this week or roll? I don't think you need to do Fernandes this week. I'd rather just roll and then bring him in next week for Forest at home. That's what I'm doing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this week, not have Jackson, which is going to kill me. But next week I'm going to do Aït-Nouri to Trent, and then I'm going to do... I think I'm going to do Mbumo to Fernandes. And then I think I'd really, really like that. I think I like those moves. I kind of talked myself into those moves. It's either Jackson and Aït-Nouri. No, it's Jackson, Aït-Nouri, and Mbumo. Or Strand Larsen, Trent, and Fernandes. And I think I just prefer the latter. Who's a good replacement for Milenkovic? Already got Gabriel and Aït-Nouri. Colwell. Colwell's decent. 4.5 mil, I think he is still. So for midfield, I'm thinking of getting rid of Mbumo. Good alternatives, preferably lower budget than Mbumo. Bowen is a really good shout. I think Matoma's a decent shout. Semenyo's a decent shout. Obviously a lot cheaper than Mbumo as well. Yeah, I think Bowen, Semenyo, Matoma are all good. I'm trying to think of others that are around that price point. I mean, Rashford might even be decent as well if you want to hold off him a couple of weeks. Rashford's been really, really good under the new manager. So Rashford could even be a shout. So I think I'm going to roll for the next 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks. Hopefully I can get into 5 and have a mini wildcard. Team looking good for the next 4 or 5 weeks. No, mate. But yeah, to be fair, as what you just said, your team is absolutely wild. So you don't need... unless there's getting injuries or something coming up. Like, João Pedro might get benched soon. But as long as you've got bench cover, you're fine. Start Whistler or Rogers? Probably start Whistler, to be fair. Should I just roll because I have Mbumo, Isak, and Konate? But I think I will play Mbumo, might bench Isak, which will leave me with 3 transfers next game. I mean, as long as you have cover for your Konate, yeah. I mean, you don't have to get rid of Isak. Obviously, Isak to Jackson or Mbumo to, like I say, a Bowen or a Semenyo or something is always an option. But if you don't have to make it, you know, I think Mbumo He's been so bad lately. He really has. Like, how can you have 4 goals against Leicester and not be involved in any of them? It's absolutely insane. But he's on penalties, and those penalties always... Like, look at what happened last week with Bournemouth. 3 penalties. Ridiculous. Scored them all. Got a ridiculous game week score of, what did he get? Like 20-odd points? 3 penalties. Silly. Rate my team, please. Sanchez, Saliba, Gabriel, Bowen, Saka, Salah, Palmer, Jackson, Kuna, João Pedro. Yeah, perfect. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. Get Matoma. Yeah, like I say, Matoma's a good shout. Matoma's a solid shout. Start 1, Aina, Greaves, or Mazarawi. I mean, I'll probably start Greaves, because if he doesn't start, he's not really going to come on. And he's got your best chance at a clean sheet. Other than that, I'd probably start Aina. Mazarawi playing Arsenal away and did get hooked before 60s, so... Salah or Saka captain? Probably Salah, just because Liverpool are in hot form at the moment. Trent or Van Dijk? I mean, there's only a 0.5 difference, so I'd probably go Trent. Unless you need the money, probably go Trent. Trent only having 1 assist all season is absolutely criminal. To say the numbers that he's putting up are ridiculous, but the fact he's had 1 assist is just, I can't believe it. Good evening. How about Gomez for Konate? I don't mind it. It's just, you never know if Gomez could get rotated with Kwanzaa, or like they could do Trent at right back, and then obviously Robertson left back, and then Van Dijk. Gomez could get rotated with Kwanzaa. Trent might even get rotated with Gomez, because Gomez can play right back. So maybe when they play the easier teams, Trent does get rotated. Trent is a rotation and injury risk nowadays, don't you think? Yeah, like I was just saying, he is 100%. With Bradley out, though, I think that it does help Trent a bit. But with the fixture congestion, yeah, he definitely could get rotated. Larson or Wisser? Probably Larson this week, to be fair. Wolves score a lot of goals, even though their XG is terrible. Mikolenko or Lewis? I'd probably start Lewis this weekend. Best forward replacements for Haaland? I probably wouldn't get rid of Haaland this week. Forest home isn't a fixture I'd really get rid of him for. He did score a hat-trick against us last season. If you have to get rid of him, though, if you really want to, then probably Jackson this week. Rutter or Mbumo? Probably Mbumo, just because of penalties. Best 4.5 and under, please, is from my bench. Midfielder that's 4.5? Couldn't tell you, man. All I'd do for those kind of players is literally just go to midfielders, go to 4.5. Dibbling obviously banned. I mean, there's not really a lot of options for 4.5. I feel like it's not really worth 4.5 mil players this season. Apart from Dibbling, really, who obviously gets you a lot of starts and stuff. Even his minutes are a little bit all over the place. Winks injured. I mean, there's not really a decent one, honestly. You're not really looking at much to go with. The best ones are like suspended or injured. So I'd probably hold off on that. If you have to bring in a 4.5 mil midfielder, then your options are really, really scarce. Probably Dibbling, but you can't play him this week. Captain Haaland or Palmer? Palmer. Should I play Mbumo this game week or Rodgers? I can see you have Mbumo in starting 11, but he has, I think, 1 shot on goal in the last 4 game weeks. Yeah, no, he's been terrible. Completely understand that. I'm just playing him because of pens, and Villa's defensive looks really shaky lately. Really, really bad. And Rodgers might even get benched as well. What's your plans this week? I think I'm just going to roll, and then next week I'm going to bring in Trent and Fernandez for Mbumo and Aït-Nouri. Start Fabianski or Flecken? Probably just Fabianski, but Flecken will get a few save points, you'd think, this weekend. This week, I mean. I'm kind of between Bowen or for Mbumo. What do you think of them? I really like Bowen. I think Bowen can get a few points over this Christmas period. 90 minutes should... I mean, some people say he's on penalties. I don't know if he is. If there's any West Ham fans in the chat, could you let me know if he's on penalties? I'm not 100% sure if he's on penalties. I think it might depend if certain players are on the pitch. FaZe has been dropped, apparently. I don't know. Apparently. Still looking for any kind of other leaks. I don't think we're going to get many leaks, really. But start Koivu or Mbumo. Probably Koivu, to be fair. Yeah, so Bowen isn't on penalties when... Yeah, that's what I thought. But some people are saying that Bowen is on penalties, and I don't believe it. Should I do Aina to Colwell or roll and play Robinson? Yeah, I'll probably just play Robinson this week. Brighton at home is not terrible. I used my free hit this week. Do I go for Mbumo or Bowen? I probably prefer Bowen over Mbumo this week. Have one free transfer. Should I transfer out Isaac for Jackson? Already have Pedro and Kuna. Also, I haven't got Gabriel, so do I meet that transfer instead or do both for a -4? I probably wouldn't bring Gabriel in this week. He is still a slight injury risk, and it's Man United at home. It's not exactly a great fixture. So I'll probably just do the Jackson move this week. What do you think about Sanchez, Ashley Young, Wan-Bissaka, Alexander-Arnold, Saka, Palmer, Salah, Webby, Jackson, Watkins, Kuna? Who should I captain? Palmer this week. I think it's better to sell Milenkovic for Trent instead of Nori. I can't. I'm 0.1 off. Otherwise, I would have done that. I would have done that, but I'm 0.1 off, which is really annoying. Unless Trent goes down in price or Fernandez goes down in price, then I can't do that. I have a feeling Fernandez might go down in price, especially if he does terrible against Arsenal. Then I'll be able to do it. Otherwise, I'm 0.1 off, which is really annoying. I'm leaning towards starting Bruno against Arsenal over Rodgers, even though I have Gabriel. My other midfielders are Salah, Saka, Palmer. I just want all the penalty takers. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for penalty takers. If I have a penalty taker on my team, they're starting. The amount of times, look, the amount of times I've played FPL and had a penalty taker save me, like just get a ridiculous penalty out of nowhere and just suddenly save my game week is more times than I can tell. So Semenyo or Rodgers? Probably Semenyo this week. You have enough from Mbumo. Paqueta is on pens and Bowen is back up. McNeil or Rodgers for Saka? Probably McNeil, to be fair. More, you save more money. And Everton's fixtures after this week are terrible. Start 2, Burn, Van Heck, Aina. Probably. I'm definitely not starting a Newcastle defender this week. They've got Liverpool. Probably Van Heck and Aina. Would you captain out of Wissa, Mbumo, Kuna, or João Pedro? You don't have any of the big midfielders? Are Kuna, Jackson, and Wood the best strikers right now? Yeah, but Forest have got a really tough fixture run coming up. Really tough fixture run coming up. Bench one of Wood, ESR, Rodgers, and Semenyo. Also play Dunk or Greaves. Probably play Dunk, because Greaves you're not guaranteed that he's going to start. And I probably bench Rodgers out of those three. I think Wood scores against City, personally. I think he does. And he's on penalties as well, so... Rodgers or Larson? I prefer Larson this week. Any news on Greaves? Ipswich, he wasn't flagged last game week, but wasn't even on the bench. That's what I'm trying to find out as well. I don't know what the situation is, because he was a sure starter before the hamstring injury. Maybe he starts tonight, but I really don't know. I need him to be back, though, because he's just kind of on my bench, not doing anything at the moment. Thank you. Just hope Bruno gets a pen and Gabriel gets a header. I mean, that's the perfect outcome. When you've got an attacker playing a defender, that's the best sort of thing for it to happen. Kudusa, yeah, to be fair, he's a lot cheaper than Bowen, and he's got better numbers as well. What Spurs players do you back this week? I mean, is Solanke going to be back from his illness? I mean, I was back Son. Son's always you'd like to think, a reliable player. Saka or Palmer captain? I prefer Palmer this week. Who to buy, Colwell or Cucurella? I'd probably go Colwell for the safety. Cucurella does offer you more assist potential, but he has been rotated at halftime this season, and yeah, he's been benched as well. So, how many points will Forest get in the next 5 game weeks? Hopefully 15. No, it's not looking good from a fixture point of view. What we got? We got City away, United away, Villa at home, Brentford away, and Spurs at home. Honestly, out of that, I'd be. I think we beat Villa. I think we draw with United. I think we draw with Brentford. I think we get 5 points from the next 5. Which isn't ideal, but... yeah, I think we draw Brentford, beat Villa, draw United, lose to Spurs and City. But I wouldn't be shocked if we got a draw against City. I wouldn't be surprised. Timber or Gomez as Konate replacement if you already have Gabriel. I mean, I think you got to wait for the Gomez choice. I think you have to wait to see if, like, he rotates with Kwanzaa or not. If Gomez gets, like, 3 games in a row, then fair play, bring him in. But yeah, it's just too early to tell at the moment. And then Konate's back, so I don't know. Maybe it's just not worth really going there. Start Digne or Robinson? Probably Robinson this week. Triple captain Cole Palmer. Do I prefer Colwell or Timber? I mean, I prefer Arsenal defense to Chelsea defense. But depends how much money you want to spend as well. I've not used my triple captain yet. No, I have. I still have bench boost triple captain and my free hit left. Play my wildcard game week 6. I just play my triple captain. I always play my triple captain in a double. Always play my free hit in a double. Just how I always play the game. I just feel like there's a lot more points to be made from double game weeks. Buy Saka or Jackson first. To be fair, for this week, I'd probably buy Jackson. He's got the much better fixture. I think Man United defense will be tough for Arsenal to break down. As long as you're bringing the other one in next week. Sorry, mate, I have to run. Good catching up with you, and thanks for the advice. Good luck to you and everyone else. Speak to you again on stream at the weekend. See you later, KN. Thanks for stopping by, man. Have a good rest of your day, man. Play Raya or Fabianski. Also play Matomo or Semenyo. I probably play Raya over Fabianski, and then Matoma or Semenyo, was it? Probably Matoma. Wood to Jackson and bench Rodgers. That's what you're doing, yeah? Don't mind that. Digne played 90 in the UCL and last game against Chelsea too. So yeah, he could get benched. I'm on 910 points. Is that good? I mean, I assume so. I'm on 816 and rank 278k. So you must be in the top like 20k, surely. Bench 1, Semenyo, Mbumo, or João Pedro? Probably Semenyo, just because Mbumo and João Pedro is on pens. Buy Saka or Jackson first? Yeah, I'd probably go Jackson this week. As long as you're buying Saka next week. Probably buy Jackson this week. Best defender to bring in besides Gabriel and Colwill? Besides Gabriel and Colwill... Well, I mean, Trent, if you can afford him. Trent, like a Liverpool defender. Keep or sell Haaland. I think if you still have Haaland now, you have to keep him, right? Because they've got some decent fixtures coming up. Like, they've got Forest at home this week, so you don't sell it. I don't think you really sell him before Forest at home. Just see if there's anything that's been leaked. I highly doubt it, but gotta double check. Got to double check. Nothing. I just kind of want to know if Greaves is back, you know. Play João Pedro or Larson. Probably João Pedro on penalties. You should have captained Saka like you said last week. I know. It wasn't a massive problem in the end because Palmer scored 14 points. So it was only a small difference. But yeah, I should have. But so many people in that stream were like, why would you bring in Saka? You know, West Ham have been really good defensively. And then they go and concede 5. So at least I brought him in. But yeah, to captain him, I should have done. But start Welbeck or Bruno. Probably Bruno. Penalties. Look, if there's always an option of a penalty taker or a non-penalty taker, I always back the penalty taker. Drop Wisser or Bruno? Probably Wisser. I know Arsenal away is a tough fixture, but who to captain? What are your options? If you have Palmer, then you go Palmer this week, I think. Palmer or Salah. 30 minutes till the deadline. It's midweek deadlines, man. Crazy. This busy Christmas period. I can afford Timber, but it's quite the run for Colwell. What do you think? I mean, that's why I brought him in. I think Colwell's fixture run is quite nice. Apart from the Spurs game next week, he's got a solid run coming up. Fabianski or the Brighton goalie? Probably... No, they're both away games, aren't they? Probably Brighton goalkeeper. I just feel like that new manager bounce is going to work really well for Leicester. Your thoughts on this team, please? Flecken, Trent, Van Dijk, Gabriel, 8 Nori, Salah, Saka, Palmer, Kuna, Jackson, João Pedro. Salah captain, Semenyo on the bench. Thoughts on bringing him in for 8 Nori? Yeah, I mean, I always play an attacker over defender. If you're going to play... I assume you'd play Gabriel, Trent, and Van Dijk. And then, yeah, probably play Semenyo instead of 8 Nori. I'm scared to see too many rotations this week. There might be a few rotations. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see João Pedro benched. Wouldn't be surprised to see Rodgers potentially benched. I'm just going off my team as well. I think your players like Palmer, Salah, Saka, I think they're all... I think Strand Larson, Kuhn will be fine. I mean, Jackson might even get benched, and Kunku could easily play. I don't think he will, but... Wood to Jackson or Watkins for free? Probably go Jackson. Haaland and Mbumo to Salah and Jackson for a -4. I don't think I'd get rid of Haaland for a -4 this week. I think Forest Home's quite a nice fixture for him. Drop 2 of Lewis, Mikalenko, Greaves, and Kirkes. Probably drop... I mean, Greaves might not play. Probably him and... Maybe Kirkes? Start Smith Rowe or Isak, or take a -4 for Jackson for FOMO. I don't think I'd get rid of Isak for a -4. I think you just start Isak. He's on penalties. He said he's fit. You know, in that interview, he said he's fit. And Eddie Howe loves a mind game as well. Odegaard or Mbumo? What, for long term or just this week? Your opinion on Cucurella instead of Colwill, mate, as it is worth a transfer for one of Lewis or Mazraoui this week, or roll and play Lewis. I think I just roll and play Lewis this week. Colwill's safer. Cucurella has been benched and been hooked early this week. So I don't really... But he's obviously got that assist potential as well, that's the thing. For this week, Odegaard or Mbumo, probably Odegaard, to be fair. I know he's not on penalty. Well, he could be on penalties. Saka could easily give him one again. Start Isak or Rodgers? Isak. What match am I watching tonight? I probably won't watch one, to be fair. They're not really exciting games, are they? What was it? Palace and Ipswich, and then Leicester and West Ham. Best replacement for Konate, budget up to 5.5 mil. Could go a Chelsea defender. Sorry for the fuss with Pedro last time, but I did actually hear it on Raptor. Anyways, you think Gusto will start and Arnold only 60 minutes? I think they both start, yeah. I think Trent will probably manage about 70 minutes most games. With Bradley out as well, it does obviously help. But start Semenyo or Solanke? Probably Solanke. If he's still ill, then he's just not going to be in the squad. And then just put Semenyo first on your bench. Morosino, how you doing? Fabianski or Flecken? Well, Flecken will get you more save points. It's just whether you think Fabianski will keep a clean sheet. Differential captain this week? Jackson, if you haven't. Shame tonight's games are boring. I was tempted to bring Bowen in first place just to watch something tonight. Yeah, yeah. If you're not a fan of one of the teams playing tonight, it's not really much. I won't be watching them. I love football, but they're just not really exciting games at all, are they? Like Palace and Ipswich could probably be the worst game of the season for me to watch. And then yeah, like West Ham Leicester might be a bit more exciting to see how like Van Nistelrooy sorts the team out and stuff. But thinking of watching, yeah, exactly, Monkey Man. Captain Salah or Palmer? I prefer Palmer this week, but both good options. Watkins and Mbumo out for Saka and Evanilson. Yeah, is that for a free or for a hit? Who should I bench? Isak, Smith Rowe, Welbeck, or João Pedro? Probably Smith Rowe. Wildcard draft this week. I didn't get around to doing it because it's such a short turnover. There'll be one for Game Week 15. But yeah, for a wildcard, I think it kind of just probably picks itself. I think up top I'd go Jackson, Kuna, Pedro. In midfield I'd go Palmer, Salah, Saka. Either Bowen or Semenyo or someone like that. Back line, I'd probably have a Liverpool defender like Trent, Gabriel, probably a Chelsea defender. In goal, I'd probably still have Raya, Fabianski on the bench. For free, yeah, don't mind it. So, Strand Larson will be 8th attacker from next game week onwards. No, I think Rodgers will be, to be fair. I think I'll probably play Strand Larson over Rodgers most weeks. I think I just prefer it. Raya to Onana and Mbumo to Odegaard, good transfers. I probably wouldn't get rid of Raya for Onana. I don't really like that. Or do you have to get the money? I have a conundrum bench. 1, 8 Nori, Lewis, Digne, or Davis. I mean, Digne might get benched. He has just played back-to-back 90s, I think. So probably him. Also, why Mbumo over Rodgers this week? Any reason? Stuck with who to bench? Just penalties, really. Penalties are the main reason I'm playing Mbumo. And Villa look very, very bad at the moment. Start Einer or Hall? Probably... It's a tough one, isn't it? Probably Hall just because of home fixture, but I think they both concede regardless. Vardy to Jackson and Saliba to Gomez. Again, I probably wouldn't get rid of Saliba this week. Arsenal have got some really nice fixtures coming up. Wood versus City or Rodgers versus Brentford. I think Wood's a fine player to start this week. He's on penalties. City's defense looks terrible. And I wouldn't mind playing him in this week at all. Start Mbumo or Johnson. Again, I mean, Mbumo's on penalties, but Johnson's got the better fixture. Maybe Johnson. Digne was always going to be a trap in those Game Week 12 wildcards. Classic FPL. Is Martinez injured? He was. I don't know if he's back. Are you making any transfers or rolling? I think I'm going to roll this week, and then next week I'll bring in Trent and Fernandez. I've got to hope that Fernandez or Trent go down in price, because then I can do it for Milenkovic instead of Aït-Nouri. Thoughts on going Konate to Trent and Mbumo to Semenyo for a -4? I need to bring in a defender as I have Einer and Greaves on the bench. I'd probably just play Einer this week. Or I'd probably start Greaves, and if he doesn't start, then you play Einer, who comes off the bench. I don't know if I'd do a -4. Because it's not like Trent has a great fixture. Like, Newcastle away is not great for Trent. You know, and Semenyo's got Spurs away. So it's not really worth it, in my opinion. Hey mate, glad you're able to do the live. I'm selling Mbumo to afford buying Jackson. Who to bring in instead of Mbumo? I already have Saka, Palmer, Salah, Semenyo. Bowen, Matoma, someone like that. Both good options. Hope you're doing well though, man. Strand Larsen's been so good to you. Great shout that. No, he has. I brought him in on, what, my Game Week 6 wildcard? I had a lot of people saying that he shouldn't do it. But since Game Week 6, when have I benched him? I benched him against City. And I benched him against Fulham. So I played him against Brentford. I think I played him against Brighton. Played him against Palace. And then I played him against Bournemouth. So he's not been bad at all for me. He's been very, very good. I think he's the best. Apart from João Pedro, I think he's probably the best budget striker, really. With the fixtures they've got coming up as well. Because they still have Everton, West Ham, Ipswich and Leicester coming up. Obviously, after that, it's time to get rid. But I think for now, he's been very good to me. He has been very good to me. He's the number 9, isn't he? He's just a dominant threat in that box, man. And he's just... Nice little player to own. Is it wild to keep Haaland and roll my free transfer? Don't have Palmer or Saka. I feel like if you still have Haaland now, you kind of just keep him. I mean, he's got Forest home, which isn't ideal. I mean, Palmer's going to hurt your rank this week if he pops off, but a lot of people have got rid of Haaland, so if Haaland smashes it, then that's going to help your rank. Start Wood or Rodgers, bench Vandenberg or Mazraoui. I'd probably bench Mazraoui. I just don't really like the idea of that early sub again. We need to know if that's something that he's going to keep doing or not. And I'd probably start Wood over Rodgers, honestly. I think that's a big question a lot of people are asking this week. I fancy Wood scoring this week. I do. And I fancy him scoring a pen as well again. I think he's going to get another penalty. I may appreciate your work. A lot wish you the best. Please, would you start Raya or Sanchez and bring in Jackson for Stewart, who doesn't play? Thank you. Yeah, probably Sanchez this week. Southampton away. And yeah, Jackson for Stewart. 100%. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Appreciate the kind words as well, man. Digne or Mikalenko? Digne. I think Digne is going to get benched. I really do. Who've Everton got this week? It's, yeah, Wolves at home. If you don't have a Wolves attacker, I just play Mikalenko. If you have a Wolves attacker, there's no point of playing him. But I could see Digne getting benched. I could honestly see Digne getting benched this week. Can't bring myself to sell Wood just yet. Hold one more week, I reckon. Yeah, I mean, look, it's the worst fixture of the season, really. Well, I'd say right now, Liverpool away is the worst fixture of the season. And we've already done that. And we won as well. We actually won that fixture, which is insane. But City away is nowhere near as bad as Liverpool away. And Mbumo or Semenyo start. I like Mbumo because he's on penalties. And Spurs away is not the greatest fixture for Semenyo, but he has just had a rest. City is very leaky, yeah. They're just not on it at the moment. As a Forest fan, it's the best time to play him. They're on a 6 losing streak? 5, 6, 7 losing streak, something like that. Haven't won in that many games. Of the Man City defence, Guardiola or Lewis? Probably Lewis, but it's not really a defense I'd be targeting at the moment. Start Rodgers or we Koiver, to be fair, test. Jackson and Bruno or Trent and Bruno. Trent and Bruno or Jackson and Bruno. Yeah, sorry, it's Smenyo at home, isn't it, for Spurs? Yeah, sorry, my bad. Salah is in great form. Should I captain Palmer or Haaland as I still have him? I'd still go Palmer. I'd still go Palmer. If you guys win, I'll buy a Forest shirt. Hold you to that. Yeah, Jackson and Bruno or Trent and Bruno is a tough one. I don't know, because Jackson's got such a good fixture run. Bruno's on penalties. Why Palmer over Salah captain? Because Palmer's playing a Southampton side where they've got like 5 of their starting 11 missing. So Salah's a great captaincy as well. Like, if you have both, then obviously it's up to you. I just prefer Salah. I prefer Palmer this week. Wood plus Mikolenko or Rodgers plus Lewis? Probably Rodgers and Lewis this week. Bench one of Welbeck, Pedro, Semenyo, and Buma or Isak. Probably Welbeck. I don't think you need 2 Brian Tackers this week. Start Wan-Bissaka or 8 Nori. Probably Wan-Bissaka, to be fair. I don't know, 8 Nori. Everton have been really cagey. No, probably 8 Nori. Everton have been really cagey at home. Those games all finish like 0-0, don't they? 8 Nori or Lewis start. Probably Lewis. You know what they say, if you can't make a call, flip a coin. Exactly. Exactly. That's sometimes how you do it. That's sometimes how you... can I flip a coin? Can I flip a coin for Palmer over Salah? Well, no, my mind's made up on Palmer. As in for you. Are you choosing between Palmer and Salah? Who would you bench out of Welbeck and Buma or Rodgers? I think I'd bench Rodgers. I got a really, really bad feeling about Rodgers this week. I don't know why. I feel like he might get benched. I don't know. 15 minutes remaining. Any transfers? I think I'm just going to roll this week. I'll flip a coin for you. Right. So, heads is Palmer. Tails is Salah. Okay? Alright. Heads Palmer, tails Salah. Heads Palmer, tails Salah. You going Salah. The coin has spoken. You going Salah. Against what I would say, but the coin has spoken. I will put my faith in Forest this week. I think we should, look, I understand. If this was last season, fair play. But this season, Forest are a different breed, man. Hi, mate. I have Haaland still. No Saka or Salah. 1 free transfer. Any advice? I think you keep Haaland this week because Forest at home's not terrible. And then you can obviously bring Salah or Saka in next week with your 2 frees. If you still don't want Haaland. But the fixture run that Haaland's got coming up isn't too bad. And they've got to win eventually, aren't they? I don't want it to be this week because it's Forest, but they've got to win eventually. That was fun. Always bringing out the coin flips, man. It's a tough one. Can make or break. I remember flipping a coin last season for a player, and it went really wrong. It went the other. I can't remember who it was between. I think it was a Newcastle player, and I brought in. I think I either brought in a Bournemouth player or a Newcastle player. And I brought in the Bournemouth player and they did nothing. And the Newcastle player got like a 12-point haul. Would you go Gabriel or an Arsenal defender this week or wait another and assess again? Would you go Gabriel or an Arsenal defender? What do you mean, Gabriel or an Arsenal defender? If you have Gabriel this week, I play him, yeah. Thinking of getting rid of Digne if I did. Do you mean double Arsenal defence? What to do with Sonny? I think you just keep him this week. Why Roger bench as he plays Villa Park? Just because Mbumo's on penalties. Thanks, mate. I was planning to roll. I've suffered so much recently. I had no Salah or Saka. Yeah, I mean, they've just been smashing it this week, this season, haven't they? Seriously, dislike the way Mbumo's playing at the moment. What is it, 1 shot in 4 games? Yeah, no, it's been terrible. This is my last week with Mbumo. I'll be getting rid of him next week for Bruno Fernandes. So it's just kind of a saving grace, really. And I just prefer it. He's going to play 90, probably, whereas Rodgers might get like 60. He might even get benched. And he's on penalties as well, so. As in someone like Timber or Gabriel already have rare. Oh, I probably wouldn't bring in an Arsenal defender this week. Raul to João Pedro. Yeah, don't like it. Don't mind it at all. Bench one in Mbumo, Mikalenko, or Rodgers. Mikalenko. I always play the attackers over defenders. Their ceiling's so much higher. You reckon Enzo Fernandez starts for Chelsea again? And if so, would you start him or McNeil? Probably Fernandez just because of the fixture and just hope for the best. Start 2 out of Lewis, Pau Torres, and Van Heck. Lewis and probably Pau Torres just as the home fixture. Mbumo to Bowen. Yeah, don't mind it. It's not a bad transfer at all. And at least it means you get to get a player playing tonight. Okay, let's go Fernandez after this game week. Thanks, mate, and have a good game week. Thank you, man. You too. Saka Cap, please answer. It's not terrible. Start FaZe or Van Heck. Well, apparently FaZe has been dropped. I don't know how truthful that information is. But apparently he's been dropped. I don't know how concrete it is. So, like I say, I'd probably play Van Heck just because of the rumors, but 800,000 transfers in for Nicholas Jackson. Well, he's going to hurt me. He's going to hurt me if he goes big this week. Thoughts on Rutter, or would you just get Matoma? Probably just get Matoma, play a bit more safe. Who's better to bench, Rodgers, Bruno Fernandes, and Mbumo or Kulusevski? Well, Kulusevski just got benched, didn't he? So maybe him. Mikalenko or Mazarawi? If you don't have any Wolves attackers, you'll play Mikalenko. Because Mazarawi could easily get benched. Hooked again. Start João Pedro or Semenyo? Probably João Pedro, he's on penalties. Does Greaves start? No idea. I was hoping we'd get a leak, but... Mbumo and Wood to Matoma and Kuna for a -4. Or Mbumo to Bowen. Or just play Mbumo and bench Wood and do the 2 transfers in game week 15 without a hit. I'd probably just wait a week and not take the hit, to be fair. I think you're fine keeping them for another week. Play Flecken or Fabianski. Again, I think they'll probably both concede. Flecken will probably make more save points. Would you sell Wood for Strand Larson? Don't know if I'd sell Wood for Strand Larson, no. Play Mbumo or Fernandez? Probably Fernandez, to be fair. He's more likely to get a return against Arsenal than Mbumo is, I think. Jackson captain, bench Wood or Rodgers? I'd probably bench Rodgers instead of Wood. Yeah, Jackson captain's not terrible. Wood or McNeil? Probably Wood on penalties. Like City have been so leaky, I think anyone can score against them at the moment. Start Welbeck or Rodgers and Lewis or Aït-Nouri? Lewis. Probably Welbeck. Gabriel deemed fit to play? No, but if you have him, you just start him. It's a big game, innit? Man United at home is a big game. Like, if he's fine, he's going to play. Like, it's not a game where they really... Like, if it was like Southampton at home, they'd probably just keep, like, they'd just keep him out, but... Rodgers could easily smash it this week, though. Just going for the penalties, though. Would you sell Wood for Strand Larson already, have Kuna and João Pedro, and have to start either Mbumo or Rodgers? No, I just start Mbumo or Rodgers. Would you do Bruno to Saka for free? Yeah. It's a nice transfer. I'm going against the odds. I will captain Haaland this week. He could smash it. He scored a hat-trick against Forest last season. Bench Mikalenko or Rico Lewis? Probably Mikalenko. If you have a Wolves attacker, then I just wouldn't play Mikalenko. Probably Verbruggen, maybe Zach. You just don't know how Leicester are going to set up under Van Nistelrooy. Would you start Wood or Semenyo? I prefer Wood, honestly. Milenkovic getting his goal. If Milenkovic gets a goal, I'll be happy as a Forest fan. But I'd also be a little bit pissed off because he's on my third on my bench. And I don't think he'd be coming off my bench for anyone. Pedro, Kuna, Raul, benched. You're asking which one to bench, or you're saying they're all going to be benched? Make sure to like the stream as well, guys, if you haven't already. 9 minutes and 30 until the deadline. If you haven't liked, please do consider liking. Of course, subscribe as well if you're brand new. We do go live with these deadline streams most weeks. But yeah, I think I'm just going to roll this week. And then it'll allow me to kind of see next week a little bit better with 2 frees. Again, next week I think I'm going to do Bruno Fernandes in for Mbumo and Trent in for 8 Nori. If one of Trent or Bruno Fernandes get a price drop, though, should be able to do it for free. But again, Mbumo's probably going to get a price drop as well. Although he has just already had one. I don't know if I'm... I don't know if I'm close to... Well, hang on. I brought him in for 7.1, 7.8. So if he goes down to 7.7... Yeah, I think it goes down to 7.3, so that's actually quite bad. So not ideal. Not ideal. Play one and Boomo or Wood. Maybe in Boomo, just because Villa have been really, really bad lately. I mean, so have City, but... Would you do Whistler to Jackson for free? Yeah, really like that. And Boomo or Rogers? I'm going in Boomo. It could backfire, but I'm just basing that off the fact that he's on penalties. He has only had 1 shot in 4 game weeks, but it is what it is. This is the last week I'm going to have him, so. Did Liverpool beat Newcastle? I assume so, yeah. Which defender to start? Lewis, Robinson, or Vandenberg? Probably Lewis. João Pedro or Evan Nilsson? Probably João Pedro. On penalties, isn't he? Enzo isn't a crazy buy option, but he's not someone that I'd want to use a Chelsea spot on. I'd much rather have Palmer, Jackson than a defender. Semenyo or Rogers? I'd probably start Semenyo this week. Start Milenkovic or Mikolenko? Well, if you have a Wolves attacker, then Milenkovic. If you don't, then Mikolenko. That's what I would do. Would you start Pope or Fabianski? Probably Fabianski. Because Pope most likely will concede. Matoma yellow flag. Anything to worry about? Didn't even know that. Is he? He is yellow flagged. Knock, 75% chance. I assume it's fine. I haven't heard anything about it in the press conferences or anything, so he should be fine. Didn't even know that. Start Vandenberg or Aina. Probably play your Ipswich defender this week. Would you start Wood or... Probably start Wood. Strand Larson or João Pedro? I mean, I like both this week, honestly. What goalie should I get? Out of who? What's your price? If you're looking for someone under 5, then I'd probably go Sanchez. Over 5, then probably Raya. Do I think Isak can outperform Rodgers this game week? Yeah, I think so. Rico Lewis to Colwill, a good move. I don't think you necessarily need to make that move this week. I think Rico Lewis is fine to start. And look, Colwill's got a good fixture, but so is Lewis. So, and then Colwill's got Spurs away next week, haven't they? Whereas Lewis has got another alright fixture. Raul Kun or João Pedro, who is benched. Probably bench Raul Jimenez out of those 3. Starts Saliba or Lewis. Already have Gabriel. Probably Lewis. So much disrespect to my boy Rodgers today. I'm just playing the mathematically. It's the fact that Mbumo can get a penalty and score just puts him a bit higher. You know, Rodgers hasn't had great minutes. And he did get hooked off on the 60th again. So start Colwill or Rico Lewis. Probably Colwill just, but I have Isak and Mbumo in 3 free transfers. Should I get Bowen and Jackson or roll? Yeah, I mean, you're getting rid of 2 penalty takers for 2 non-penalty takers, but they've got really nice fixtures. You got a bad feeling about Rodgers too? In terms of that he's going to do well or that he's not going to do well? All the best, Matt. Good game, everyone. Best of luck, Jonathan. 4 minutes remaining. 4 minutes 40. Says Matoma is struggling with an injury and is a doubt. I don't know. Did he cut it? I mean, it says he played 90, so I don't know if it must have been after the game that it was addressed. Just looking for anything on Greaves. Not that I'd play him, but I assume a few people would want to know that information if he's fine or not. Doesn't look like it. Yeah. Rodgers or Mbumo? I prefer Mbumo just because he's on penalties. I don't think he's going to do well. Who to bench between Wood, Semenyo, and Rodgers? Rodgers. Do you think Son will start to get in form? Hopefully. I mean, he's always been very reliable, hasn't he? So I don't see why he can't. All right, last 4 minutes, ladies and gents. Lock in the transfers. I think I'm going to roll this week. Let me just double check my team's ready. Nope, that's my last week. Salah Vice, Palmer Cap, Saka and Mbumo, bench Rodgers, Greaves, Milankovic, yeah. You'll bench one of Rodgers, Johnson or Semenyo. Probably Rodgers. Bench you out of Rodgers and Mbumo and Welbeck. Probably Rodgers. I'm giving so much stick to Rodgers, man, and he's going to go and score a brace, isn't he? Yeah, incoming brace from Rodgers, exactly. I don't know, man. He could easily smash it. I'm just going Mbumo because of penalties. How's the deadline stream going? Yeah, I mean, it's nearly over now, but hope you're doing well, Dusty. Captain Haaland over Salah for a differential. Yeah, if you're looking for a differential, definitely. Start Dallo or Robinson? Robinson this week. Rodgers or Garnacho? Probably Rodgers, to be fair, because Garnacho is probably going to go and get benched. It's not like Rodgers is a bad pick this week. If you have him, and he's got, like, and you'd prefer him to someone else, then obviously play him. Like, don't take my advice on it. I'm scared of him being on my bench. He could easily smash it. I'm just going for Mbumo just because he's on penalties. That's literally it. And Villa have been very leaky. Thanks for the tips, bro. Subscribed. Appreciate that, Flawless. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the subscription. Hoping for another green arrow, though. Trying to get into the... I'd love to get into the top 100k by Christmas. That'd be so good. Hey, not the best day. Missed the stream and all that due to... Oh, mate. Dusty. Jeez, man. My condolences, man. I hope you're all good, man. My love to you and the family, bro. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. That's awful. Really, really awful, man. You could play Rodgers over João Pedro. Again, João Pedro's on penalties, so... And Mbumo away, mate, I'd play Greaves. You play Greaves over him. Early team news on Ipswich and Greaves. Doesn't look like it. No, I don't know what's happening with Greaves. He's seemingly fine, but he's just not getting into that squad. Ina Collins or Ina whom to change, whom to buy, 0.2 in the bank. I consider Joe Gomez, Van Heckel, Gomez. I'll be grateful for your help. I'd probably go Colwell, to be fair. Ina to Colwell. I don't mind that transfer at all. Colwell's got, apart from Spurs away in game week 15, he's got some really nice fixtures. Robinson or Smith Rowe? Smith Rowe. I'll always play an attacker over a defender. Last minute though, chat. Right, sorry to be a downer, but doubting Rodgers is a no-no this week. No, dude, don't have to apologise at all, man. Like I say, much love to you and the family, bro. I hope you're doing all right. Dallo, sorry. No, yeah, I like Colwell. Colwell was probably the best 4.5 mil defender to own. I'd probably say. My current rank, 600k, thanks to 100 points. Last game week, long may this continue upwards. 100 points. Jeez, man. Smashed it. Congratulations. Massive congrats. Backing Rodgers over Vista away. Vista never scores away. No, look, everything's pointing towards Mbumo blanking. But he's the last game week I'm going to own him. So he hopefully goes out with a bang and scores a goal. But deadline is passed, ladies and gentlemen. I've rolled. I haven't gone Jackson. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about Rodgers being on my bench instead of Mbumo. But made my bed. You're going to sleep in it. We are locked for game week 14, though, ladies and gentlemen. Game week 15 is this weekend. We'll obviously be doing a deadline stream this weekend as well. So hopefully see you there. And we can all talk about the fat green arrows we're about to get this game week. But either way, guys, I'm going to hop off. Thank you so much for coming out to stream today. Really appreciate it. Best of luck. Have a fantastic rest of your week. I'll see you on... Well, I'll upload a video probably tomorrow. Maybe. But either way, thank you for watching, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Much love. Take care. Thank you again for the 10 gifted Nabil as well. Absolute legend. I'll see you all then. Have a good one and peace.